I want to apologize in advance for the mic quality. Okay, let's get to the theory. Today, we reveal the true origins of Anarchy and its lore. It's nothing like you would expect. I think everyone just accepted the fact that the story of Anarchy takes place in the far future due to its apocalyptic undertones. But I say that it does not take place in the future. It takes place in the past, an alternate past to be precise, an alternate universe where the events of Anarchy only happened because of one single man and how this one single man was not born. Who is this man? Well, it's George Bailey from It's a Wonderful Life. We see a lot of good things happen that George Bailey is the cause of. He helps people during the Great Depression.
All right, now, Miss Thompson, how much do you want?
But it's your own money,
Now,
George.
never mind about that. How much do you want
Well,
now?
I can get along with 20, all right.
$20. Fine.
And keeps the building and loan, which was a business that his father ran before he died. He keeps this place safe from the main antagonist in the movie, named Henry Potter. But when George wishes to have never been born,
I suppose it'd been better if I'd never been born at all.
What'd you say?
I said I wish I'd never been born.
Bedford Falls, which is the town he lives in, Bedford Falls changes for the worse. There's a lot more corruption, sadness, and overall hate within the town. To George, and to the outside viewer, which is us, this would seem like the aftermath of a post-apocalypse, which it technically is, thanks to the Great Depression and the horrors of World War II. Because George Bailey was not born, Henry Potter, the main antagonist of the film, took over everything, basically built the whole town anew. He turned Bedford Falls into a new city, which was Pottersville. What does this reveal about Potter? Well, it reveals that he was the man in the song UAJP. The man in the song acts like he cares. He wants to help. He wants to benefit his people with the best life. Just like what Potter tried to do with George Bailey when he tried to hire him.
You wouldn't mind living in the nicest house in town? Buying your wife a lot of fine clothes? A couple of business trips to New York a year? Maybe once in a while Europe? You wouldn't mind that, would you, George? Would I?
Henry Potter told George pretty words to get him on his side. All of this is what the man does in his song UAJP. We never see the face of the man, it being empty and vacant. Perfect, even. Taller than the rest, better than the rest. Like some sort of personal propaganda to make oneself feel better. This is similar to what Potter does in his office. He makes the seat opposite him lower so that anyone who sits down in it is shorter than Potter. This doesn't benefit Potter to getting what he wants. It just makes him feel better. Same with the illustration that is in the song UAJP. If we look at Pottersville, we can see how awful it actually is. Bars and clubs everywhere, a city filled with corruption, abuse, and hate for each other. A town filled with media stars, girls who are easy on the eyes, and the drinks that make the residents forget about the subtle pain caused by their leaders. Yet it masquerades itself as perfect. Potter protects everybody. He provides for them. Without him, they would be nothing, which is everything that UAJP stands for. This is the world that would exist if George Bailey hadn't been born. But even after George makes this realization, he is given a second chance to live again.
I want to live again! I want to live again!
Everything goes back to normal. But if the multiversal theory is real, the world where George was never born still exists, and the residents are still being affected, but they can't do anything about it. That is until one young man steps up and leads an organization against Potter, a man that is brave like George Bailey and has the heart of George Bailey's brother Harry Bailey, who fought in World War II, this young man being Sean Harper himself. It's a Wonderful Life takes place during December 1945, a month after World War II. What types of weapons were created during the same year? The atomic bomb and missile. Anarchy feels futuristic due to how the songs sound and the lyrics, but Anarchy could have very well taken place during the year 1945 or a few years after. They had the technology. This makes sense, because when the anarchists finally went to war with Carter and his loyal followers, they used the same strategies as World War II. They got their weapons and they fought. But when things seemed to be going bad for the anarchists, they used the same method that America had used when they were losing to Japan. They used atomic weapons, the atomic bomb being made in August of 1945, while the missile was created in September 1945. It makes sense that the anarchists would use the same strategy due to this battle being fought so close after World War II ending. How could it not make sense? And they were right. It did work. By using the missile, the anarchists prevailed and won the war. They reclaimed Pottersville, probably turning it back into Bedford Falls, or a new name, and rebuilding.
It's over, time to build on the graves of all our enemies.
This theory not only explains the origin of the Anarchy albums, but paints a clear picture of what happened and why. This movie gave us more visual details, just as the songs gave us more auditory details. Anarchy takes place in 1945 in Bedford Falls, turned to a UAJP-centered city like the town of Pottersville. But that's just a theory, a groundbreaking theory.